So there is a new feature in Schoology to use item banks for assessments. This tool is not completely developed yet. You can't go back to old assessments and add the items into a bank yet, but if you're creating a new assessment and want to start putting those items into an assessment bank, you can do that. So to start, I'm in my resource tab, my resources, and I'm going to go to add resources. And now there's an option here to add an item bank. Alright, I gave it a name, Unit Test Bank for Units 1 through 4, and the description is test questions for exams 1 through 4. So I'm going to hit create. Alright, and this is my item bank. It looks very similar to what an assessment setup would be, so that's what you're doing. We're just setting up our questions. All of your test item questions are over here on the left, so you can choose from those. I'm going to just show you one to get started. If I want highlight an image, I'm going to upload an image of a map. So you can drag and drop the image. I usually just click on the plus sign and go to my pictures. Alright, I've uploaded my image. I'm going to put in my question. Right, they need to highlight Italy on this map. It shows the map. Here's the highlighting tools that they can use, and then they'd hit save. Okay, so there's my first question in my test bank. You would just continue to add questions until you have all the questions that you need for one or more exams. You can continue to come back to this test bank and build it out as you continue to build out your units. Back in courses, if I were finished building this test bank, I'm going to go into, I'm just going to pick one of my sandboxes. From add materials, I'm going to add an assessment. I number my assessments starting with 500 for assessments. Say this is Unit 2, Ancient Rome, and I'm going to leave it disabled. You will have more categories than me, hopefully. And create. Set up your setup how you need to. I'm going to go to the questions, and now I want to use my question from my question bank, so I'll add from item bank. This is my personal bank. If you are creating a unit bank that you want to share with your PLC, you can also do it from a group, but I did this one from a personal. It's in my home section. Here's my unit item bank. I only have the one that I just created, so I'm going to check that and add this one item. You will be able to add more if you have more in there, and so I've added the one item. You can continue to add more from here if you'd like, but if you want them to be inside of the item bank, you have to create them in the item bank in your resources first and then pull them in. When I look at Schoology's page, it says coming soon to item banks. We'll be able to copy an item bank. We'll be able to copy one or more items to another item bank. We'll be able to add items from an assessment to an item bank. So that means if you already have an assessment created and you want to move those questions into an item bank. So for example, if I start creating my item bank from Unit 2 because Unit 1 was already done, right now I can't take those Unit 1 questions and put them into that item bank. But soon, hopefully, they'll get this set up so that I can move them from there into the item bank. So I can only go one direction now, I can't go both. And then we'll also be able to convert test quizzes into an item bank. Assessments has so many more question types than test quizzes. I love the labeling of images and the highlighting of images. There's also more features with adding and labeling text. So love that this is now available. Can't wait for it to be completed. But if you are creating new assessments, create them from your resource section so that you can create them in an item bank and start curating those resources to use and to be able to spiral in previous content into assessments to keep the kids on their toes.